Good evening,
I love,
Drew.
well, I love late additions to our show, Doc.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay.
I have another topic I want to add, but I don't know if I should. I want to complain about work, and I want to find the right way to do it.
Well, add it to the end, and you can always decide whether you want to bump it or do it or not. So, I mean,
Part of my job,
mhm.
I'm gonna try to be.
Okay.
I'm not gonna talk in specifics. I can't. I can't.
I understand. I understand. Yeah.
Part of my job is, I mean, I guess in general terms, it's technical selling. Like there is a technical selling component of my job, right? Because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you bring me in to talk about, like, hey, tell me what problem you're trying to solve. Tell me what you're trying to do. How can I slash this product help you? And you know what? There's times where the answer isn't us. Like, the answer isn't my product, the answer isn't me. Like, that happens, right? Like, I have walked into a lot of rooms, heard what somebody wants to do and said, "You know what? I could we make it work? Sure, but it's not going to be great." It
Not the best fit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the best fit. That's the best way to say it. For insert any number of reasons here. Um but it's just like, man, sometimes you really pour your heart and soul into something that you know is going to be good. And then I don't know necessarily if it's just cold feet or maybe some wires get crossed somewhere, but at the 11th hour, when you're ready to, really pull the trigger on something, there just comes up a reason why you can't. And those are absolute killers for me because everybody's hyped, everybody's ready to go. It's a huge thing, and then it just peters out. And that's just so it's challenging. I'm not going to say it's depressing. It's challenging. And you know what? We'll get it figured out. I'm not worried about it. But it's just like at 4 o'clock on a Thursday when I'm trying to wind up for the day, you get hit with like one of those left hooks out of nowhere on something that you worked really hard on. I said hard on.
You sure did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it can be trying. It can be very trying for everybody, right? Not just for me, for me, for my peers that I work with, and even for the people that I'm like proposing things to, it can be challenging, right? Because everybody's like, man, we've been going at this for months, and then you hit this point, and it's just like, all right, well, let's take a couple steps back, let's reevaluate and go from there. And like that doesn't necessarily, I mean, unless I propose something that is like completely out of left field that's never going to work and then it falls down, like, sure, you could look at me and say, Drew, what the hell were you thinking? But like this is one of those things where everybody has input, everybody's involved, everybody's engaged, and my performance isn't impacted by it. Like, I'm not gold on any of that stuff. I mean, yeah, we'll get them to a place that's good and I'll get an attaboy for it eventually, but like I'm not going to lose my job over anything like that. It's just a frustration. Am I making sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. And then, like, I walk out of that and it's just like, my soul's a little bit crushed, and then you have to try to work out in that mindset. And if I could find a way to bill someone an hour for that, if a crappy workout, I would, but I can't do that. Anyway, hi.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the
Yep.
podcast.
Oh boy,
Oh,
we have things. We have things to talk about. Do you have any
we do.
grievances that you want to get off your chest?
No. No. I'm in a good mood, Drew. I'm a little bit tired. Actually, I'm a lot bit tired, but that's okay.
That's part of the that's part of the reason we upped our recording
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, so we can go to bed earlier.
Exactly.
I'm just excited because tomorrow Spider-Man 2 comes out, and then Saturday I'm gonna play some really nerdy board games with my buddy Drew,
Mhm.
and
I
it's gonna be a good weekend, I think.
I have a special surprise for you on Saturday. Yeah. So
Okay.
Paul's coming over for a game night
Mhm.
at my house,
Yes.
which I always feel bad when I host because it's easy for me and that's where some of the games are. But everybody has to drive to my house, and you have a long drive to my house.
It's okay.
Yeah, everybody's coming over.
Mhm.
That's a long drive for you.
It's okay. I don't mind.
But I have a special treat for you. Hey,
I'm very excited.
while we're on the subject, yeah. So game night hype. We're gonna move this up a little bit here. So we're
Okay,
going to
fine.
play. We talked about this last show. I got the latest expansion for Return to Dark Tower, which we both like.
Woo! Yes, it's very good.
And we are going to do the full fat experience. We are going to play with the new expansion. We're going to play with the expansion that previously completely decimated us. We're gonna go for it, man. We're gonna go for it with some friends of the show, and we're gonna have a good time. Did you did you get yours? Did you get yours?
No, not at all.
Really?
Nope.
Mine did not arrive the day after we recorded, like I thought it was going to. It took a couple days to actually show up. So like the shipping estimate was wrong. Did you at least get a tracking number?
I have not got a tracking number yet.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they're shipping out the full, like, I think they're shipping out the expansions first. I think the bigger boxes are coming later. So
I see. I see. Because you ordered the whole thing.
I did. I'd ordered, the whole thing, except for the card sleeves.
I know.
I can't fucking believe I didn't order the card sleeves.
I'm very disappointed that I didn't get the card sleeves. My wife even made fun of me for that. I didn't get the neoprene mat. Now, do you know? Not to like make this super hyper specific, but did your pledge level include? It included the base game. It included the newest expansion. Did it also include the original expansion?
I believe
okay.
So hold on. What did I buy?
Because that's like that's the one that makes the game really hard. Makes it like really hard.
Levels. Yeah, I believe we got the Alliances expansion.
Yeah,
or the Dark Horde.
The Dark Horde are miniatures.
Okay. Yeah, I got. I got as calls. Yeah, I'm going with that.
Yep.
Bounty, which is the base game. Covenant, Alliances, Dark Horde, Coffers 1 and Coffers 2.
Got it.
So yeah, so much stuff. I literally have like no room in my game closet, and I know this is going to be just a ridiculous amount. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Oh, apparently I left my door open. There's a cat visiting me.
Okay, I wondered what that was. I thought it said something was wounded. What's your cat's name?
This cat, that's Griffin.
I didn't think you had any more pets.
Oh, did I not tell you that we got kittens? We got kittens.
Okay, you got kittens. Okay, well, new show topic. Kittens. Tell me about your kittens.
They're two little tuxedo kittens, which are black and white. One is Griffin. He is bigger and he is dumb.
Okay.
And the smaller one is Graham, and he is crazy.
Griffin and Graham.
Griffin, my daughter named them. Yeah.
And what he's not big and dumb. He is
small and crazy.
Small and crazy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. For example, Griffin today, I filled their water dish, and he proceeded to go over and step on it and spill the whole thing. Just like as soon as I filled
splash. Just making a little splash.
Yeah.
Wanted to splash.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think cats liked water, but he likes water, and good for him. He
likes playing in water. He does. Yeah.
Now, when did you acquire these kittens? We did not talk about this.
No. That's a good question, Drew. It's been a few months.
Because last podcast, I can't remember how you worded it, but last podcast you said, since this was a pet-free house, or maybe you said a dog-free house.
It's a dog. It's a dog-free house.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm trying to look at my pictures to figure out.
We're gonna need some show art for this part.
Okay.
We're gonna need some pictures of them cats, them kitties.
All right. Let me see if I can find a good. I'll find some good photos and put it in there.
Okay.
Here. I'm gonna text you one. I'm gonna text you one right now.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm gonna copy the photo.
All right.
Go to messages.
Hit me.
Doing this live.
Okay.
Doing this live.
Yep. Coming in hot.
Hit to Drew. There we go. Paste. There we go.
Okay. I'm ready. Oh, there it is.
Yep, that is Graham.
Whoa, that's a good looking cat. That's a good looking cat right there. Now, is that a kitten? Because it looks like that's when I picture kittens.
We got them as kittens.
Have they just stated the cat phase, or
they're growing up? They're at the point where they're losing their kitty teeth and chew on everything. So
got it. Mm-hmm. Got it. Now, are they playful?
Yeah, very much so. Yep.
Where do they sleep?
So what we did is we put like a little like table by one of our windows in our living room, and we took an old like dog bed and put it on top of there so they can sit kind of in the window and enjoy the sun. And
Mm.
they sit there, and they the bed is big enough for both of them, so they kind of, because it's it's dog size, it's you know uh medium dog size, not huge dog size. I didn't have huge dogs. uh
I can feel that cat judging me. Can
oh
feel.
yeah, yeah, there, yeah, that's, yeah,
Well, good for you.
he's hmm
And your daughter named them.
yes,
Okay.
yes. I had originally named Graham Mr. Mustache Face, and it didn't take.
Okay.
So yeah.
You know what a good pet name is?
Mhm.
Axe sharpener.
Axe sharpener. Nice.
Mr. Hi-Fi banjo strings.
Okay.
That's what I would have gone with. So both boys,
Mhm.
boys.
Boys.
I, I don't. I'm not a cat person. I mean, I like a cat. Cats are usually pretty friendly to me. I was very allergic when I was younger. I don't know if I'm quite as allergic now. I was somewhere where people had cats and I was fine. But if I'm going to be in somebody's house for an extended period of time where there's many cats, I will sometimes take an antihistamine. But
Yeah.
but
Smart. Smart.
cats are fine. I mean, I'm more of a dog person, but cats are fine, and I'm happy for your cat situation.
Yeah. My makes my daughter happy. So yay.
Yeah. So the cat came in to say hi,
Yes, he did.
and
Yep,
then
and
which
he
one?
yelled
Which
at me,
one
and
was
then
it?
he left.
Was it Griffin?
That was Graham.
Oh,
That
it
was
was Graham.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he came in to say hi, and then he left.
Okay.
So he wanted a little bit of scritches, and then he left.
And then he left. Where do you think he went? I'm invested. I'm
Uh,
invested in this. I need to know.
I mean, they spend a lot of time in my daughter's room when she's awake. So I'm guessing he went upstairs.
Got it. So, like, your daughter the primary caretaker of the cats?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Good for you, buddy. Okay.
Mhm.
We have topics.
Mhm.
Why are you linking me a USB-C cable tester?
So I bought this, Drew. I bought this. So
Okay.
I heard about this through Casey Liss from the Accidental Tech podcast, a much better podcast than ours. And it's it's this guy in Austria, and I think he just makes these himself. And it's $30 plus shipping. And what it is, it's a USB-C cable tester. And it's powered by a little like cell battery. And it's got on it's it's small, it's not very big. Roughly credit card shape, maybe a little smaller. And on each end there is a socket for one end of a USB cable, and then in the middle there is a whole bunch of labeled lights. And you plug a USB cable into one side, and you plug the other end of the cable into the other side, and all the lights light up. And then you can tell, because USB-C is a hellscape, Drew. It's a hellscape.
The entire
Uh,
USB specification is a hellscape.
Yeah. So what this does is it comes with a little manual, and basically it tests all the pins on the USB-C and then lights up the one that are active. And then you have this little decoder ring in the manual, so you can tell whether or not this is like a USB-C power delivery cable, whether it has USB 2 or 3 speeds. Like, so you can see what kind of cable you're dealing with. And it's not something I'm going to use every day, but when I do have to use it, I like using it, because sometimes you want a high-speed cable and you go into your drawer and you pull out a cable and it's like, oh, that's a USB 2 cable with power delivery. That's not gonna do what I want. Uh
So,
yeah.
okay. I
Mm-hmm.
think the reason that this is important is now that Apple has decided to
Mm-hmm.
standardize on USB-C.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain cables that are good for charging iPhones and
Yes.
not. Is that the
Yes.
main reason?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Or like if you have a little USB-C drive and you want to get the highest speeds, well, make sure that you have a high speed cable with that. Because otherwise you're going to get USB 2 speeds and you're going to be sad. Again, it's not something you need every day, but I think, $30, and you just kind of, put it where you put the rest of your cables, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. You just plug the cables in, boom, oh, that's USB 3.2, great. And then you're done, and
So,
Maybe you can label it, put it in a baggie, and use a magic marker on the bag and say this is a good cable. Uh,
well, okay,
yeah.
okay. So
Hmm.
I as
Hmm.
somebody who is mostly familiar with all of the pitfalls of
Hmm.
all the different USB situations,
Hmm.
this situation as we call it.
Yes.
If there's any people out there right now
Hmm.
that are listening and are like, "How do I know? How
Yeah.
do I know?
How do you
How do
know?
you know what the
How do you know?
best
Yeah.
cable is to charge my phone?" What is the definitive canonical answer that you would tell? Like if they were going to go on Amazon and buy a cable right now.
For
Yeah,
charging?
just for charging, because I think that's what
I
most
do.
people do, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're the USB-C cables that come in the iPhone 15 boxes, they're USB 2 with power delivery. That's fine. That's all you need because you're not going to be doing a lot of data transfer. You just need something that delivers all the watts that your phone can do. So that's what you want. USB-C with power delivery. That's what you're looking for. And I'm pretty sure that's what the Apple cable is that comes in the box. It's certainly not a uh USB 3 cable. Let's go to iPhone accessories here. Uh where we got
But
this.
hang on, but hang on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I'm projecting, but I think that if somebody buys a new iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
they obviously get the one cable,
Mm-hmm.
but people sometimes like multiple cables, and people probably don't want to buy the Apple cable because it's
Okay.
expensive.
Okay.
So what do they do? They're gonna go out. They're gonna go to Beesbo's place, and
Yep.
they're gonna look for USB-C cables, and they're gonna fall into a trap. Like, what should they buy from
Okay.
Jeff
Okay.
Bezos?
So here. This is what I would recommend. Right, I'm gonna drop. In fact, I bought these. In fact, I bought these very cables.
Okay,
And you can get them in different links, right? You can do. I'm gonna put a link to the 3.3 foot, but they have 6 and 10 foot here.
yeah, because
And
like
and,
they
and
they always
mhm.
like I think canonically are sold in metric, but
Yeah, and here you go. Here you go. Right there. This and of course, if you click on that link, Drew, these are braided cables.
oh, you're doing the Lord's work here. Everybody should be buying braided cables. I don't care what you're buying: keyboard cables, mouse cables, phone cables, any
Hmm.
cables,
Yes.
braided cables, braided
Hmm.
cables. You
Yep.
thank us later.
Hmm.
Braided
Yeah.
cables.
Yeah, and like this is nice because like you USB C cables that are USB 3 are typically more expensive. And if you're just looking for charging, you don't need that. So this is a USB 2 with power delivery, and this is all you need. This is all you need right here.
Okay.
Boom.
So then
Mhm.
I'm going to again, maybe projecting, maybe overgeneralizing. I feel like that's what people need. Now, the
Mhm.
cable is just one part of the equation though. Because if you're going to be charging, I think what you plug this into to charge it also factors in, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because you could get like different what is it? Different wattages or different amperages?
Watts.
Different
Watts.
watts. So
Yes.
different plugs offer different wattages, which also affect charging speed, right?
Yeah. Here. I'm gonna send a link. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, that's expensive. Can it be expensive?
I mean,
Mm.
I sure. Because I again, this is
Mm.
one of those things where I have heard, and I don't know if they're necessarily urban legend or myth or like stuff that people post on Reddit, but like you buy a shoddy charger, like
Mhm.
it could explode, right? It could
Yeah.
catch on
Okay.
fire.
So I do like the Anchor brand, and
I do too.
I'm starting to buy the GAN chargers because they are smaller
Mhm.
and do higher delivery, but those are still a little bit pricey. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put something kind of right in the middle of their spec. It's not a full 100 watts, but it is 60, what is it? 67 watts? 67 watts. And it's got two USB-Cs and a USB-A port in it. And it's not very
Ooh.
big, and it's $60, and boom, there you go. Now, if you want to go up, if you want to spend like $80, you can get that exact same thing in 100 watt.
But it doesn't but do you need a cable that can handle that wattage, or the cable doesn't matter?
So the cables I put in there will handle up to 100 watt.
Okay.
Now, usually like a power delivery cable will handle anything you throw at it. It's probably just what the manufacturer is comfortable with. Oh, here's the 100 watt charger. Ooh, but it's got 20% off coupon right now, so you can get even a little cheaper.
Can't afford not to.
Yeah, I'm put that in there right there. Boom. Wow, those Amazon links are getting
They
real
are
thirsty.
spicy. Whoa.
Woo.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, what we have established, and we are putting the official, like, doing their best stamp on this, is if you're a listener and you need a USB-C charging cable for your iPhone or your digital lifestyle, we have provided you good braided cables and relatively cost-effective chargers that are going to do this.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not sure what your cable does, well, consider spending $30 across the pond and getting this USB-C cable tester. I like mine. It's good.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks like it's just, LED, little LED,
Oh yeah.
little diodes and resistors is all it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. It tests each pins and just lights it up. Like that's what it does.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
now, having said all that, when would one consider a different cable for their phone?
If they wanted to get large amounts of data off of your phone, like if you were backing it up or copying video off of it, like some big all 4K video, or what I'm really excited about is when you have a USB-C iPhone and you buy another USB-C iPhone, plugging a cable between the two of them to do your new phone setup.
Okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay. So in
Looking forward to
those
that.
scenarios,
Okay.
you don't necessarily want a cable that is made for power delivery.
Right.
You want one that is designed for high-speed transfer.
Yeah.
Now, are those two diametrically opposed cable concepts?
Not necessarily. You can have both, but generally USB 3 cables are more expensive. Heck, I'm even having a hard time finding one. Those are USB 2.
I'm not sure how, but I'm
USB
going to blame Android for this.
Yeah. I'm gonna remove USB 3 cable. Here we go. Let's say 3.2. 3.2.
Got it.
No. Okay, what are those are. I mean, we have to go with the braided cable here again, don't we? That's actually not too expensive.
I really like the idea of this Anker 100-watt charger.
Yeah,
It could charge my MacBook.
Yeah, yes, it could charge your MacBook, and it's much smaller than the little the little transformer brick.
Could the 67 technically could too? It just take longer.
Yes, exactly. And honestly, like depending on what you're doing, 67 is probably all you need.
Yeah,
right. Like it's probably enough to keep your to keep it fully charged. Yeah,
got it. Yeah, especially the M2s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good. Okay, so you heard it here first, folks. If you find yourself in a situation where you need charging cables, there will be a link in the show notes. You can trust us. You can especially trust Paul. He has done the research. He's done this for you. He's giving you the playbook. You will be very happy.
This is the stuff I buy.
This is the stuff that we buy. We're not just owners, we're members. Whatever, however that phrase goes. But and then for data copying, you need a USB 3.0 cable, and again, you would use that for transferring all the pictures of your dogs, if you're me, off of the phone, and then you would be good. But if you're the kind of person who never plugs their phone into a computer, that isn't for you. Like if you're not currently doing that now, you will probably not do that anytime soon.
Yeah, I still like MagSafe. I'm definitely big into the MagSafe lifestyle still. So
see, that's the biggest thing for me is like I still carry my MagSafe charger around, just because I like MagSafe. I like it very much.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, but if I had a new phone that was charging, interestingly though, my iPad Mini is USB-C.
It is.
Yeah. And I just use the charger that came with that because I mean I plug it in every once in a while. It's charging right now for reasons we already talked about because we're gonna need that for our game. We're gonna need that for our
Ooh,
game.
that's right.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay, now you're shopping for something too now, aren't
Yep.
we?
Okay. We had previously talked about your fridge buying
Mm,
experience, and
mm-hmm.
I am in a refrigerator buying scenario here.
Okay. Is this a replacement fridge or an additional
This
fridge?
is an additional fridge. So
Okay,
for
okay.
context, we had a chest freezer in our garage, and it really only got used in like holiday type scenarios. We would buy stuff that we would freeze like up before Thanksgiving or Christmas or things like that, but it didn't get a ton of use. And what we have sort of arrived at is we don't necessarily need freezer space, we need refrigeration space
Okay.
for sodas, salad dressings that we use, like when we have company over, produce overflow because we buy a lot of produce, and other stuff that we just want to necessarily keep cool but not frozen. So we donated our chest freezer to some friends of ours that needed a freezer. And in the space that that is going to occupy, we are looking for a garage fridge. Now, this is an extremely interesting purchasing scenario because I don't need glass fronted beverage
Yeah.
center, ice maker, front water capacity.
You probably want a very simple, like canonical fridge.
Canonical fridge. Now, it's interesting you say that. When you say canonical fridge, what do you think?
I mean, I think like the fridges that we had growing up, where it's roughly divided into like the bottom two-thirds is the fridge, the top third is the freezer.
Top freezer refrigerator.
Yeah, like and
That is the
it's
name.
there is like no bells and whistles. There's no ice maker. There's no drink dispenser. It's just, you got two doors. One is slightly colder than the other. Ta-da.
Right. Yeah. And that is the exact purchasing scenario that we find ourselves in today. So
Do those still exist?
they do.
Okay.
So I mean, you want to talk about like plain Jane vanilla fridge experience. This is the one I think we're leaning towards. It's relatively cost effective. It is a fridge in name. Um,
Yeah, look at
it
that.
is a
It's a
Whirlpool. Yeah, it's
fridge.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
Whirlpool 13 or 14 cubic feet top freezer refrigerator, white. It has refrigeration. It has some crisper drawers. It does have a freezer. I don't think it has an ice maker. Um, I think this is exactly the kind of thing that we're looking for. You can get fridges cheaper than this, but they are from brands that I have no familiarity with.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we're sort of in this price range for them. So we'll probably go ahead and get one of these ordered, but it's like it's interesting shopping for these because I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you paid for. I think I have a rough idea what you paid for your fridge, but
A lot.
I
Yeah.
didn't really expect
More than
these.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then I didn't expect these things to be $700 or $800.
Yeah, that's still
We live
pricey.
in
Yeah.
unprecedented times apparently
Mhm.
because of
Yeah, we do. We
yeah.
do.
But this has adjustable shelves. It has the top freezer for what looks to be frozen hamburgers in this picture, um, and ice cream.
Yeah. Ice cream.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this will probably go in our garage. So if I can get one ordered, it looks like I could have one here by Saturday if I really want to push it.
I am really curious about what is going on in these photos.
Yeah, let's
Like
talk about it.
all the stock food that's in there.
I see some Bob Evans,
Uh-huh.
something egg related, some Jimmy Dean
Now,
sliders. I don't know, that's not right. Jimmy
no,
Dean
so
sausages.
let's be honest here. How much do you think Bob Evans paid to be in this picture?
I don't think Bob Evans even knows. I bet you they just grabbed whatever they could and took the picture,
They grabbed the intern,
go to the
go to
store, buy things in the
Costco.
frozen center, in the frozen
Yeah.
section. I don't think Bob Evans even knows. Now
Okay. Okay.
we can date. We can almost date this photo because there's a tell.
There
There's a
is?
tell.
Okay.
Um, so how familiar are you with Sierra Mistgate?
Very much so.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
it looks like the bottle in the fridge is Sierra Mist,
It
or
it could
could
be.
be.
Yeah.
I cannot zoom in far enough. Well, wait a minute. Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Maybe I can. No, wait. No, I can't. That might be Sierra Mist in there. So
Yeah. Yeah, how they had what they sued and they lost.
yeah. Okay. So for those of you that don't know, you may have been at a. I encountered this when I was traveling at an airport, at a Chick-fil-A, and I think it was a Chick-fil-A. Maybe it was something else, but I walked past where the sodas was, and I saw a soda that was called Starry, and I didn't know what Starry was, and I didn't think anything of it. And then somehow it came up in conversation that Starry is Sierra Mist. And the
Mhm.
reason it's
It
Sierra Mist is somebody
they
changed their name to Sierra Mist. Is that,
yeah.
do I have that right?
Well, it's okay. Hold on, see if I can find an article. This may be on the. So the story that I heard was there was an adult film actress who also went by Sierra Mist, spelled differently, but using the same name, and Pepsi sued, and then Pepsi lost. Uh, let's see. Hold on. That may actually not be true. Hmm. 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 Well, who knows what Pepsi said, but that is what I have heard, and I do not know if that is true or
I
not.
just,
But
I just, I mean, for research purposes, I just found some Pornhub links that have this actress in them. I'm just
okay,
doing it for research.
yeah, I mean for research, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there was some sort of lawsuit, right, where somebody
Hmm.
had their name Sierra Mist, was rebranded Starry, but it doesn't say why. Huh. I just know that there was some shenanigans where there was some sort of lawsuit that they lost, and they basically had to change the name of the entire product. I don't know. We'll have to find some links and put them in the show notes. I'm not putting the Pornhub links in the show notes. So
Oh,
if you're the kind of person that has to do that, do your own research.
yeah, it's not hard, not hard.
Anyway,
Oh,
yeah, there's a lot
mhm.
going on in this fridge picture,
Yeah, there is,
and then there's some.
It's a very well stocked fridge.
It is a very well stocked fridge. I'm worried about those carrots and onions being so close together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, they just threw it in there, took the picture. Yeah,
Yeah.
that food's going right in the garbo.
Yep. Looks like there's some coconut water on the door, some some Tabasco sauce in there. Man,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the orange
is there
juice.
any actual edible food in this fridge? There are some sort of casseroles.
Yeah, I mean, you can eat vegetables.
Could eat
Yeah, definitely
vegetables.
casserole, some leftovers. We got some
I'm
eggs.
gonna assume those are limes just kind of rolling around in there
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the oranges and the apples.
Hmm.
Bell peppers, some carrots, some
Is that is that is that
onions.
is that like a 12 pack of 7 Up?
I can't tell. I almost want to say it has the Airheads logo. That's what.
Airhead soda. I
Yeah,
drink
I
that.
would drink that. I would drink the fuck out of
Oh,
that. I wonder if they have that on that pop and there has to be Airhead soda, right? Airheads soda. Yep, there fucking is. 7-Eleven Jones Airheads cherry pineapple
Jerry.
soda. Boy, what a country. We can find so many things. That's going in the show notes. We have to try that. 7-Eleven Jones Airheads cherry pineapple soda.
There's not a lot of 7-Elevens in Columbus, though.
I guess I've never looked.
I know, like there's one down. I think there's one
Buy
downtown.
now with Instacart. Can it get it to me? 43016. That's not me. 43017. Thank you very much. It wants my street address. I'm gonna put in my neighbor's address. Because I don't want Instacart to know anything about me. White Craig's Court. There
Of
we
course, I
go.
can't get the 7-Eleven website to work.
Um,
Let me turn off my content blocker here.
yeah. 7-Eleven Jones Airhead available
Nope.
for pickup. Doesn't look like I can get it.
Yeah.
Sunkissed cherry limeade, though. I would drink that. Jones. Okay, so there's some Jones at Wellens. Wylands, sorry.
No, there's not even there. I think there's not any in Columbus, and I'm not even
That
sure there's even
can't be
any even in
true.
Ohio.
That can't be true.
Yeah,
I've seen 7-Elevens.
I thought there was too, but I can't find it on. I'm zooming in on. I can't get there. Okay, I'm gonna type
Duchess.
Columbus. Oh, I'm gonna type Columbus, comma Ohio. I'm gonna hit submit. Okay, so first of all, that's not doing anything.
7-Eleven, 26 West Main Street. Wow, that is not Columbus. That is Akron.
Yeah,
so if you go up 71, actually that's Mansfield. There is one outside of Mansfield, Ohio. That's our closest one.
Yeah, I thought there was one like right on.
Looks like
kind of close to the Arena District, but I guess it's closed.
Yeah, there's some up in Cleveland. The closest one to us is Mansfield. There's another one down south in Lubeck. That's West Virginia. Never mind. We can either go to West Virginia or we can go to Mansfield. So, the more you know.
The more you know.
Okay. That's my fridge shopping experience. Yeah, finding a top freezer fridge for an economical price. We'll let you know how it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Keeping things moving along here. We're on Threads?
Yeah, so we talked about this end of last show, and I finally shut up and I did it. I created a Threads account for the podcast. So if you go in Threads, it's at Doing Their Best Podcast. And I'll start posting show shit on there, and updated the website, so all the links now for us are our Threads account. I'm also working on some stuff where you can have multiple social accounts. We can have like a social page, but we're getting there. But for now, I think the best way to follow the show is to go on Threads and follow us at Doing Their Best Podcast. Now, what is more interesting about this, just Drew, is this made me want to try profiles in my hipster browser Arc,
which we briefly talked about last time, where you said it was supported.
Yes. So I had never done it before. Now I know, like with Safari, if you want to have profiles, they have to be in different windows. Okay.
All right.
So like if you want to switch a profile, it opens up another window. That is not how profiles work in Arc at all. So one of the features of Arc is their spaces. So you have that kind of sidebar on the left with all of your your links and stuff. You can have multiple spaces for those. So I have like a work one, a personal one, a music one, and now I have a podcast one.
Okay.
So because I want to have my personal space logged into my personal Threads account. Well, I made a podcast space, and now I associate that with a podcast profile. So now it has its own set of cookies and everything, and I can have Threads on my personal and Threads on for the podcast, all in the same window. It's real nice. It works. I was surprised that's how it worked, but that's how it works. So, when you set up the space, you basically just pick the profile that you want, and boom, you're done.
Interesting.
Now, each profile also allows you to have your own set of extensions enabled. So it uses like the Chrome extension store, which is one part annoying, but I also kind of get it because I'm like, oh, I got to enable 1Password again. And somehow it does that all in the same window. And yeah. So profiles in Arc, they work. 2 thumbs up, which you can't see because this is a podcast.
Yeah. Well, we're doing it anyway. We're doing it anyway. So, have you figured out how to give money to them yet?
There's no way yet. No way. Cannot give them money. I'm waiting with anticipation for a way to give them money so they don't disappear.
Now, while we're here and on this subject, first of all, I'm thrilled that we have a place that is easy for me to retweet or whatever, rethread. I don't know what the right verb is.
Repost
stuff that's on the show. And my social media consumption is very weird these days. X continues to just deteriorate at an alarming rate. So there are still people that I love and care about who post there. Mostly people who have businesses and, you know, uh, their their tooling, let's say, whenever they write a blog post or, you know, do something online is designed to shotgun across multiple social things, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, you know, whatever. Uh, there's a fair amount of people that I follow that seem to mainline Threads as the place that they want to hang out and do stuff. And I think Threads is a pretty cool place. I like the platform. I think that when they officially add like desktop app support or something, it'll get a little bit better. Um, I'm sort of fragmented right now between Threads and Blue Sky. A lot of the people that I interact with on a daily basis are on Blue Sky, but I think Threads is a good place for us. I think that's the best place to
Mhm.
have it, and I'm excited
Yeah.
to be able to like repost it and add comments and things like that. But I'm more curious about you, right? Because
Mhm.
where are you sort of hanging out these days?
Uh, I do I still follow a lot of people on Mastodon, but I don't check it every day. Uh, but I'm starting to check Threads every day. Now, it does annoy me because, like, I was a Twitter completionist, right? Like, I I s I had my Twitter apps always remember where I was, and I would scroll up and read all of the stuff, and that's not how Threads works. Threads is you start at the top, you just scroll, you read stuff, and then you're done. There is no notion of state. It just keeps showing you stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's fine. Like I go on there and I check. I'm following more people. I keep finding like I mean, more power to them, but it definitely seems their recommendation engine has figured me the fuck out. Uh, because it's like showing me like, metal labels and news and tech stuff and hockey stuff. Like it's got me. So like, there's always new people to follow and there's always content, there's always something to read. And I've decided that that's where I'm going to start posting my absolute nonsense to people that won't read it, but that's okay. Again, it's an outlet for me, and I just like it. So yeah, yeah. But there's still some people that I really like like a lot of the podcasters that I listen to, primarily have gone over to Mastodon, and they like that community. And yeah, I think Mastodon's fine, but it's the Linux of social networks. Like
Hmm.
you have to want to go to Mastodon. You're not going to accidentally end up there. And if like someone says, okay, like you tell your mom how to get a Mastodon account, well, first what you have to do, mom, is pick a server, and then they're done. They're done. Uh, so I like Threads. It's smart. They hooked it onto Instagram. They keep pushing new features. I know someday there's going to be ads and it's going to make it worse, but it's okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with Mastodon per se. The problem I had with it was I don't have an easy client that makes sense. I
Mhm.
did not pay for that app that we talked about before.
Ivory. Yep.
Yeah, I did not pay for Ivory, and anytime I would go onto Mastodon and want to do something, the app was like, "Yeah, you got to give me money for that." And I get it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. I just I don't know. I never paid for it, so my interaction and engagement with the platform is pretty low. Blue Sky and Threads are good. I mostly have been just posting memes on Instagram. Like that's how I'm getting the most engagement on social media these days. And ironically, that also automatically posts to Facebook because of course it does. So
Mm,
people are looking at it on Facebook. And while I don't have to look at Facebook directly, Instagram does tell me who on Facebook viewed it. Because I'm sure it's all the same databases behind the scene,
data bars.
databases behind the scenes. Okay, so that's good to know. I mean, every once in a while, I occasionally see you like something that I do put on there,
Hmm.
and that makes me feel happy.
Hmm.
It makes me feel nice and warm inside.
Yeah. Now, do I know I'm reading all of your posts? No,
No,
because that's not how Threads
nope,
is.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Threads.
Blue Sky is much better about that.
Is it?
Yeah, Blue Sky's a lot better about that. Like if you really want to engage with me and totally watch me self destruct shit post, like Blue Sky's the place to do that. Like, cause
Okay. Okay.
it's still kind of the wild west for that place right now. Okay. rounding out topics for tonight, I have professed my love of the store Half Price Books on this show before.
Okay.
Half Price Books is a fantastic place for books and movies and TV shows because you can walk in there with a crisp $20 bill in your pocket and walk out with like 4 movies. I'm not even kidding. So if you're the kind of person who likes to have movies and maybe make digital copies of those movies, it's a very cost-effective solution to swell your library. But the problem with half price books is that if it ain't on the shelf, you ain't gonna get it, right? Because
Mhm.
yeah, you walk in there, you sort of browse the movie section, and I have had really good. My best experiences with half price books is basically walking in and saying, I just want to see if there's a movie in here that I haven't seen in a while that I want to watch. And I'll kind of walk through the movie section and I'll be like, oh, hey, Stand and Deliver. I haven't seen that movie in 20 years. I would love to watch that again. And I'll look at it, it'll say $3.99, and I'm like, sold. Because now I have a copy of Stand and Deliver, which is a great movie if you haven't seen it before. Um, so it's about math. It's a great place. Now, sometimes I'll walk in there on a mission. Like, wow, I really want the movie Edge of Tomorrow, starring Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, which is one of the most criminally underrated movies that's ever been released. It's so fucking good. And like you'll walk in there and then you won't find it. You'll be like, half price books, you suck. Um, now, half price books, obviously,
Mhm.
their whole business model is reselling used books. Now, you can buy new books. There are things that are in shrink wrap and there are like new books that they stock. But by and large, people walk in there. You could walk in there and like when we moved, we did this. Like we took our entire like DVD collection and books that we didn't want to put on shelves at the new house, load those in your car, walk in there, drop them off at the trade-in place, give them 15 minutes, they'll price you out. They'll be like, we'll give you X amount of dollars for this. And while it's not the same like shitty exchange rate that GameStop's going to give you, I think it's pretty reasonable. Like, we got a few $100s for our stuff and you turn it into store credit or you take the money and walk. It's completely up to you. But I was on a mission to find 3 particular movies that I wanted to get. The movies were Margin Call, The Big Short, and The Nice Guys. I love the movie The Big Short. I was very late to that party. If you haven't seen The Big Short, I highly recommend that you watch it. It's also a very, very good book. I had read the book. I had never seen the movie. Um, but it was a very, very good movie. The Nice Guys, again, that's Ryan Reynolds, who was also in The Big Short. It was Ryan Reynolds and Russell Crowe. Is kind of like a buddy cop comedy type movie thing set in the 70s, and it's really, 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 really fucking funny. Um, I was looking for that, and I was looking for Margin Call, which stars the problematic Kevin Spacey and a whole bunch of other people that you probably don't care about. Demi Moore makes an appearance. Again, more like Wall Street type drama stuff, a much more serious movie. But again, I wanted it. So I was looking for these 3 movies, and I had gone to Half Price Books over the course of a couple months, right? It's one of those things where maybe once a month on a Saturday before or after dinner, I'll say to my wife, I'll say to her, "Hey, let's go to Half Price Books." That's a big Saturday for us. So we'll drive over there, kind of peruse, and again, I walked in there with a mission, which is a surefire way for disappointment. And I looked online, like at places like Beesbo's Place, and like those movies were anywhere from 15 to 20. I mean, even more, depending if you wanted like Blu-ray and availability and all this stuff. And I'm just like, no, no fucking way. Now, if you want to get something from Half Price Books that your Half Price Books doesn't have, you have 2 options. The first one is you can talk to the nice people at Half Price Books, and you can be like, you know what, I would love for you to get me these movies, and you can hand them a list, and
Mm.
they will work with the other Half Price bookstores. I don't know how they do it, but like they could have them delivered to that store, and then you can pick them up. And there's usually a 2 to 3 week turnaround on that, unless it's
Huh,
coming from like
really?
one of their warehouses or something. But if you go online to halfpricebooks.com and you search for something, you can buy it online, and your order will be routed to some location that can ship you this thing.
Now, I was today years old when I learned that Half Price Books has a website.
They do. They absolutely do. And
Yes.
what's great about that website is if you're looking for something, I guarantee you there is a used copy of that thing, book, movie, board game, uh, whatever. I guarantee you there is a used version of that somewhere on their website. They even have new. Like one of the things I ordered was brand spanking new, and it was so heavily discounted that I couldn't believe it. Margin Call. No, 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 no. Sorry. The Big Short. And actually, I can't remember how much I paid. Half price books. Let me look at my email real quick. Press books, status update. Um, how do I see my order? I want to see how much I paid. Half price books. Orders you submitted, confirmed order. Yeah, I got a brand new copy of The Big Short on DVD for $4. For $4.
That's pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap. So, but what I wasn't ready for was I thought that I was going to place this order for these 3 movies on halfpricebooks.com, and I was going to get like a box or an envelope or whatever they ship these things in my house, in whatever the shipping was. I think it was like 3-day shipping or something. That's not what happened.
Did they ship it to the store?
No.
No.
Apparently, their ordering system works something like this. My order comes in for these 3 movies. The system looks at the inventory of nearby stores and says, hey, store in Blacklick, I need you to send Drew a copy of The Big Short. Hey, store in Cleveland, I need you to send Drew a copy of The Nice Guys. Hey, store in Indianapolis, I need you to send Drew a copy of Margin Call. And you get 3 different tracking numbers, which I hit the fucking trifecta. I had tracking numbers for these 3 movies from USPS, UPS, and fucking DHL. Like who ships DHL domestically?
DHL.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So listen,
Okay.
I don't know who hurt this particular half price books that they have to use DHL, but that's who they chose to ship it from. And shipping was charged individually on each item. So I paid.
Well, that makes sense.
I paid.
Yeah.
The total cost of my 3 movies was like $19, and I paid $11 in shipping.
Oh. Okay.
So what is the lesson here? The lesson here is number 1, if you really have your heart set on getting a movie or book or something on the cheap, Half Price Books is a 100% way to go. If you are not in a hurry, have the store order it. Have them do their thing and send you or have those things show up to your store and then pick them up locally. Like that is the number 1 advice. If you are going to order these things and have them shipped directly to you, just be aware of what is going to happen. You are going to get separate tracking numbers. You're going to have to trap them all separately. DHL and UPS, or sorry, DHL and USPS tracking numbers are an absolute lie. Do not believe them. They mean nothing. Like they will show up at your house eventually. Just be prepared for these things to show up completely separately. So that's what you can expect if you order from Half Price Books online.
Which I just learned was a thing.
Yeah, we learned so much tonight. We learned about USB cables. We learned about this. I have one final thing to talk about tonight, and I need to get a link because let's see here. Yes. So my gym is having a fundraiser. We're recording this on the 19th. The gym I belong to, which is Friendship Fitness, is having a fundraiser on Friday, October 27th.
Okay. Hey, so it'll still be in the future by the time you hear this.
This is one of those times where we actually are doing this the right way. Okay. So the gym is doing this fundraiser, and it is for a charity called Pink Ribbon Girls. Now, if you're not familiar, what Pink Ribbon Girls is it is a free service that is given. They provide a free service to people who are undergoing breast cancer or other gynecological cancers at any stage. And they are able to do things like get them to appointments or do house cleaning or run errands or do stuff like that. So the gym is partnering with them to raise money specifically for the Pink Ribbon Girls, um, I guess program. Um, and I will put a link in the show notes to this particular charity if you are interested in just giving them money directly. But if you are in the greater Columbus area and you want to come out and either number one, take part in a workout, we will be doing the workout Grace that night. If you're not familiar with Grace, are you familiar with the workout Grace?
It vaguely sounds familiar. I know I just generally know that like the one like the workouts that are named after people are usually pretty brutal.
Yeah, so Grace is 30 clean and jerks for time.
Ooh, okay.
Which is actually a pretty speedy workout. It is designed to go fast. So we're going to be running multiple heats of this. This will be taking place at Friendship Fitness, which is here in Dublin, Ohio. It's off Sawmill Road, or it's near Sawmill Road. You've heard me talk about Friendship a lot. It's a big part of my life. I really like going there. But again, if you have the means or you have the time to come out and watch some people destroy themselves for roughly 3 minutes, come out and do it. There will also be T-shirts and other things you can buy where the proceeds are going to go to, um,
Cool.
the organization. If you have Instagram, Friendship is very active on Instagram. There's plenty of things that are being posted on there about this event. So I just want to get the word out there. So if you have 5, 10, 20 bucks to give and you want to give the Pink Urban Girls, hit up the show notes for a link where you can go donate. Otherwise, come out and watch. I will be participating. I will be doing Grace at prescribed weight of 135, 30 clean and jerks, which is probably going to destroy me. But if you want to come out and watch, I will be doing that on that Friday.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yep. And
sounds like a good cause.
yeah, man, I love when our show is so informative and helpful.
Yeah. Well, we're good at this.
We are pretty fucking good at this. Like we really are. All right, get us out of here.
Hey, why don't you go to doingtheirbest.com? You can find all the show notes there, all the links. Hey, and you can follow us on Threads. You can follow the podcast at Doing Their Best Podcast. You can follow me at Paul Baylor. You can follow Drew at Drew Ferguel.
That's right.
I would go to the site because you will never spell that name on your own.
Extremely burdensome. So many vowels.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening.